What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the stream. It is our monthly sample challenge that we do with 343 Labs. So thank you for joining us today. We do this every single month in the 343 Labs Discord, which is linked down below. You can join that. It's totally free to join. Become a part of a cool electronic music community. We're always doing fun community events. If you don't know, these sample challenges are brought to you by 343 Labs and 343 Studio. We have a school in New York as well as in Berlin, but we also have lots of amazing online classes, master classes, collaboration workshops, things like that over on 343 Studio, which is at studio.343labs.com. You can become a member totally free and check it out. I think there's even a free trial over there. But we are also doing a giveaway this month. This month's sample challenge is sponsored by Bitwig. So we'll be giving away a Bitwig license today for all of those who entered. I saw a lot of people have submitted. I think we have 13 entries. So today we're going to walk through, listen to all the entries, listen to everybody's music, see how they flipped a really cool sax sample. And I'll say hello to people in the chat. We got Wiley Audio, Bishop, what's good? Falguna is back. Falguna, long time no see. Janelle Costa, nice to see you. Eric Clark. Anthony, hello, nice to see you. Sledgeman Guitar, Brett Larson, hello. I'm looking at my chat right now, but we are also restreaming over on the 343 Labs chat. I see TI80 Mark and Cena and Robert Ruff, Carnus Champion, FaZe. Wow, lots of new names in the chat as well as members. Shout out to all the members in the chat. Last thing I was going to say before we keep going was that I don't actually remember what I was going to say, but thank you all for joining us today. We're going to have a fun stream. We're going to get into what does the sample sound like and all the entries in just a minute. But I should say we are not alone today, my friends. We are joined by, back by popular demand, our friend Stella Key. Welcome back to the stream, Stella.
Hey guys, so nice to be here again. I'm so excited to hear some music.
Welcome back. Thank you for being back. If you all don't know Stella, she's a great producer, DJ. Link is in the description if you want to check out more of her stuff. But Stella, there's some celebration to be had because you just graduated.
I just graduated from Berklee College of Music with my master's degree.
Congratulations. That's crazy. Can you tell?
Thank you.
We have
you so much.
A lot of aspiring musicians, producers, etc. in the chat. You want to tell them a little bit about the Berklee experience? What was it like getting your master's? Like, what was your experience like now that you're finally at the finish line?
Yeah, it was crazy. So I did the master's program in New York. So their bachelor is actually in Boston. That's where they're based, but they have this master's degree that they just started this year.
Wow.
So I'm one of the first people to follow this master's degree that I did in New York. It's located at Power Station Studios in New York. It's a really big studio that people like John Mayer, Michael Jackson, all those people recorded there and worked there. So it was a crazy experience to going to school there, working at the studio there was crazy. So yeah, it was really they also had this really cool DJ room with all the DJ gear, all the newest DJ gear. I spent most of my time there just practicing my DJing, also recorded at the studio. So collaborated with a lot of awesome like-minded people, my classmates, and learned a lot from the teachers. So it was crazy. Yeah, it was good.
And
sure. Yeah.
And now what's the plan? You've graduated. How are you hitting the ground running this summer?
I want to play as much as I can as a DJ. I'm just I was just preparing my sets, just getting my sets organized, just getting ready to play, really get out there, just networking, getting to know the scene, really, it's a crazy
What type of genres are you playing?
So I play bass house, tech house, also more heavier bass, trap, dubstep stuff, everything bass heavy.
Awesome.
Much in electronics. So yeah.
That's great. You're getting lots of congrats in the chat on the graduation.
Thank you so much.
Chat, you're so nice. Thank you everybody for joining us. I see some people here for the first time, like Bunny. Hello, Bunny. Nice to have you here. Indian Prince. Hello, welcome. My friends, this, like I said at the beginning, this sample challenge happens every month. But in order to submit, you need to be a part of the 343 Discord because we post the next sample well in advance and you have to have entries by the day we do the stream. So that being said, we actually do already have a date for next month's sample challenge. It will be August 9th, Tuesday, August 9th. So mark your calendars, make sure you're in the Discord so that you get the sample to download and then you have plenty of time to enter because the deadline was last night at midnight and we have lots of good entries to go through. But Stella, in a moment, I'm going to play everybody the sample, the sax sample by our very own Max Wild, who, if you don't know, Max Wild, co-founder of 343 Labs, very talented sax player. So let's give a listen to this sample, my friends. Here you go. This is the sample everybody got to flip, which even if you don't want to compete and you still want to download the sample, you can still go do that. I hear lots of long tones and lots of riffs in this sample, so it's a good one to flip for sure. Nice. That's Max Wild on the sax, everybody. That is the sample that we should hear throughout today's submission. We actually got a question for you in the chat, Stella. Anthony Brown asks, I'm pursuing a degree as well, and how easy was it to get in? How was that process?
So it really depends because I applied for the master's degree. So I think that's a little different than the bachelor's. But what I had to do, I had to submit like 3 or 4 pieces of my work and basically like a short bio and like link to my work, you know, like all my portfolio, all of that. And then they listened to that and they got back to me. And I got a round of like just questions, just basically about collaborations, what I want to do, how I'm going to like add to the community of Berklee College of Music, you know, like what I'm offering and what I expect to learn, like basically just random questions. And after that, I had an interview in person, you know, like on Zoom, but like with one of the instructors.
Nice.
And he basically asked me questions like what I want to do, what I want to do afterwards, what I've been doing before, like basically just questions about what I want to do and what I make. And it's like 3 or 4 rounds of submitting everything and questions.
Wow. Pretty rigorous. That's cool though. What did you do undergrad at Berklee in Boston, or you did it somewhere else?
No, I didn't. I did music production back home. I'm from the Netherlands, so that's why I did music production. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I did.
Well, hey, we got lots of music to listen to today. Should we start to get into it or what?
Let's go.
Yeah, we got a bunch of submissions here in the Discord. We're going to start with our friend SubZero. And chat, you can help me out and make sure I don't skip anybody by accident. But I'm pulling these from the Discord. Again, make sure you're part of the Discord because we have the 343 Challenges channel, which is where we pulled the submissions from. You all voted last time that you wanted to do Discord and not on the website. So that's what we're doing. So my friend SubZero, he's got a track posted to Audius. Let me see if I can bring that up. Don't play automatically. Perfect. I used the sax as my main melody, chopped it up a little bit, nothing too drastic. Also, in order to switch it up, I added same extra effect in 2 sections of the track, 125 BPM. SubZero actually made great improvements, submitted for the sample challenge last time, but then submitted for my track review, and in my track review made great improvements in his music. So I'm interested to hear how those improvements will translate to this sample challenge. All right, we ready to hit play on this?
Yes.
All right, hitting play in 3, 2, 1, play. That kick hits hard. Whoa. It's a good part of the sample. I like that short part being a melody. I love that little percussion effect thing. Cool. Well done, SubZero. I gotta say, congrats to SubZero, because SubZero making significant improvements in their approach to making music. And I think one thing SubZero used to struggle with was being in key and bringing in different parts, especially in a sample challenge. That's pretty, it can be tough if you are not so well versed in like ear training and knowing what key you're in and stuff, depending on the key of the sample. But this sounds pretty good throughout. It sounds pretty solid, and I really like all the sound choices. I like that you gave us the opportunity to have a break from the sax sample later on. I think a little bit of my feedback would be, could you have used more of the sax sample, more than that one little riff? Which I did like, but probably by a minute 29 or something, or minute 20, I'm looking for some variation and wanting to hear something other than that one main sax melody. A little more variation in the arrangement. What did you think, Stella?
I really liked that it was quite minimal. There wasn't a lot going on, which like grabbed the attention to what was going on. So I really liked that. I do think the kick was overpowering the bass a little bit. It was pretty hard, but it was overpowering the bass a little bit. That would be my comment.
Yeah. It comes in and smacks you in the face. That's for sure.
Yeah.
But SubZero, this is a great entry. Thank you so much for that, my friend. Well done. I always love hearing the tablas in your tracks. I think you should keep doing that. All right, the next one I have is by Bourbon, and this is a down-tempo trap track. Let me bring this up on SoundCloud. All right, we have Chillax Sax by Bourbon. Are we ready to give it a listen? I'm pressing play in 3, 2, 1, play. Cut up the sample 2 ways. I'm hearing 2 different keys. I'm hearing bitonality. Okay, now it sounds good. the battle of the major versus minor. That's what I would call this. So this sample right here, I think is a vocal. I don't think that's part of the sax sample. It was in the intro. That is the thing that is most out of key. The tricky thing is the sax sample throughout kind of goes in and out. Like there are parts where it makes sense and then there's parts where it does not make sense. So it just sounds like a little bit of key confusion in this track. Other than that, regardless of the key confusion, which is really important. So we were talking about that with SubZero. SubZero was struggling with that previously, but really worked on it and got better at it. One thing everybody has to be really careful of is that you know what key your sample is in and that you compose around that key, or you transpose the sample to fit what key you want to be in. So even though this track has really cool elements, like I think the guitar is really cool, I think the percussion is really cool, and I even think the arrangement is pretty good throughout, the clashing of the sample versus the main melody and the overall key of the track is just doesn't work.
A little confusing. It just makes it a little eerie.
Yes.
Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But when you like use notes that are outside of the key, you should be aware of how you use it in order to not make it clash too much. So I think that's
right, and it should be intentional. I think it's very obvious when it's unintentional, which it seems unintentional here. But there are beautiful sections of this track where it's all gelling together. It's really in key, like that section where there's no sample at like 33 seconds. That's a beautiful setup for a track. But then as the sax sample comes back in, it's very obviously the first half of that sample is out of key. The second half kind of fits, but that's what makes it seem unintentional, you know? But yes, just be careful of that. Bourbon, thank you for this, this submission. Please keep going. Please just spend a little more time, think about the key, and just lock that in. I know in these sample challenges and these community events that we have people of all different skill levels, all different, like some people have just started producing, some people have been producing for a while, but we accept all of the above because it's important for growth, and we've seen a lot of growth in this community anyway. Starry Tea Time, aka Wayward Ambience, is up next. Let's grab this link here. Let's keep rolling through the tracks. Got a little visual here. As usual, if you like anything that you hear or you want to support any of the artists, go to their pages as you see them on screen. Give them a sub, give them a follow, etc. We have a little bit of chat. Mysterious Man says, Tejo, nice eyebrows. Okay, thank you. But then there was also a question for Stella, which I saw and I probably lost by now. Oh, I think somebody asked, what DAW do you use, Stella?
Ableton.
Oh, okay. Watch out.
I love Ableton.
That was the only correct answer. So now I know that
Yes.
we can continue the stream. Perfect.
Yes.
All right, you heard it first, folks. All right, we're going to play this next entry by Wayward Ambience. I'm going to click play on Midnight Summer Stroll in 3, 2, 1, play. And if y'all are in chat and you want to say a little bit about your track or your process, please make it interesting for us. I love the stretching of the sample right off the bat. Very cool sound design. Cool. Wayward Ambience. What did you think of that one, Stella?
It's very vibey. I like it.
Definitely has a
Yeah,
vibe.
very vibey. Yeah, definitely really gritty. A lot of impacts, effects, distortion stuff going on. I
Yeah.
like that. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, potentially some granular stuff going on.
Yeah.
If I had to get like the textures and everything are really, really cool. But if I had to give some feedback, it feels like it's part like cool ambient sound designy focus track, but then it's also trying to be like a hip hop beat at the same time. And I think it's gotta pick one or the other. I think you can incorporate elements from both, but at some point, like some of those heavy textures, they never let up. They never give space for like a main melody. I think if it leaned more into the ambient spacey thing and built up more gradually, then it would be more effective. But right now it's kind of like a wall of sound the whole time. So maybe a little more build, Wayward Ambience, or maybe just a little more like if you want to do this kind of interesting, more experimental side of things, but incorporate some hip hop stuff, just do it a little more intentionally. Now it just feels like they got glued together. But maybe there's a way to better build up to them. Thank you, Wayward Ambience, for that submission. Definitely unique. All of these entries, super unique. The next one I have on Discord is from Falguna. Made a jazzy, chill, lo-fi track this time. Let's hear it. Let's pause that one. Pause that one. I have so much going on in the background. Chat, what do you got to say? I've been lurking on these live sessions for a couple months now and really like how you and your community do this. Very cool. Maybe I'll join one of these times. Yes, you definitely should, my friend Ben in chat. Yes, yes, yes. Seems like people like the sound design and the soundscape of that last track for sure. What's up, Regine, over on the 343 Labs chat? Hello. Bio, I see that you had published on the website last night, but you're going to throw it in Discord now. Yes, that's fine. Thank you for that. Make sure everybody knows that the entries do come from Discord. We were previously doing them on the website, but now we're doing them on Discord. Okay, I got Falguna's entry loaded up, ready to go. You ready, Stella?
Yes.
All right, I'm pressing play. In 3, 2, 1, play. Oh, bonus points for 343 Labs logo, of course. And you all in chat, let me know about the levels. Nice. Falguna, you're in chat. Tell me about the processing on the saxophone. I love that bell instrument too. Well done, Falguna. Nice touch to use that other version of that melody at the end there, the more growly version. That was really good. And the chat definitely seemed to enjoy it as well. What did you think, Stella?
I definitely liked it. Very lo-fi, chill, but still nice beat. Hits hard.
Yes.
I like it. Just the processing of the sax. I'm just like curious how the processing on the sax looked like, because it sometimes sounded a little thin and a little in the background. I think it could have been a little more at some points.
It says, I made a couple layers of the sax and panned them, added a tape effect, some delay, and compression. So it could be like slightly over compressed. I did like the width of the sax though. It made it sound pretty thick. Yeah, Falguna, you crushed it. To me, it's a good example of a great entry because it takes the sample and it makes it sound like the sample was made for this song, you know? Like it sounds like it was specifically made for this track. And I didn't necessarily think of that when I first heard the sample. I didn't think, wow, this would make an awesome chill hop track. But I hear this track and it's like, wow, instantly, I think that's the way it should have been. So, that's great. Good job, Falguna. Wow, very chill track. Got friends over in the 343 chat. I'm just going to put that user in timeout for a moment. Yes, spam over in the 343 Labs chat, so we're going to have to go and turn that off. All right. All right. Good job, Falguna. Good job to all the entries so far. Well done, everybody. We've got a very strong sample challenge going here this month. The next we have a first-time submission from Overclouded over in the Discord. A first beat and first-time submission. So that's what it's all about. We got some very beginners, some people that have making beats for a really, really long time. So we got Overclouded here. Only rain can muffle the sax. So they do put a note. This is, I enjoy listening to music. I like 24/7, especially chill hop. Wanted to make a track myself. Here's my submission, guitar, chill hop. Not familiar with cutting up samples, so tried the best I could. Sorry if it's horrible. Anyways, any advice to improve will be much appreciated. So we will think about it with that in mind. Anyway, let's give this a listen, if I can. All right, let's play it in 3, 2, 1, play. So far, so good. But I do get worried once we start implementing the sample, because that's where key issues usually come in for beginners. They avoided that one crucial mistake that many beginners make by being out of key. So, well done on that front. Okay. I have to say, Overclouded, for your first beat and first time submission, well done. Round of applause. I mean, there's a lot of issues that beginners often run into, where sometimes, things will be out of key. Like we see this all the time. Okay, you just want to chop up a sample, you make a beat, you grab another sample, you try to mix them together, and they don't quite work. You didn't fall into that trap. I think one thing for beginners, which is definitely explored here, is just keeping things kind of minimal and staying simple, because the less you know, the less complicated you want to go, because the more mistakes you can make when you start going further and further outside of your own knowledge. So really good job on that. What did you think, Stella?
I think the first thing I thought was I could definitely hear a top line or some like rapping on top of this.
Sure.
It's so like loopy.
Yeah.
And it's just like, it would be great if like someone would rap over it or like do some vocals. Other than that, if it were to be an instrumental, I would maybe add a little bit of variation here and there, because it felt like it was the same thing going on.
Right, exactly.
For the whole, yeah.
Yeah, so for the next step, Overclouded, one thing you did great was you chose great sounds and you assembled them really well. So I think all the major parts were there. Now it's time to work on that arrangement. And one thing to think about is if one sample is happening throughout your entire track, that's something to look at and say, maybe at some point I need to take it out and then bring it back in later, perhaps. If you look at your DAW and your project and you say, this guitar sample is kind of happening throughout the entire thing, I'm sure there's a point in the middle of this track. I believe you had some keyboard come in at some point, some chords. Yeah, at around like 119 or something, there's some keyboard chords coming in. Would be great if maybe the guitar drops out there and just lets those keys play out. Just add a little more variation to your arrangement and what you want to think of your track. You want to think of it as evolving throughout, right? So the energy is going to grow and grow and grow. At some point during like a bridge section, that energy will calm back down. And then for a finale, boom, the most energy the track's ever had. And of course, contextualize that for chill hop, right? You're not trying to turn a chill hop track into a giant drop like festival track, but still think about how energy can increase even in a chill hop track. Good first track. I want to hear more from you for sure, Overclouded. That was a really fantastic first track. Way better than my first track. That's for sure. Next up, we'll have a track from Uncle Acid, but I just want to jump into chat because everybody's chatting a lot. I want to say hello to people. Sounds like a track for Q-Tip to jump on. Interesting. Robert Ruff. Anthony Brown says, yo, this is all inspiring. Thanks, Tetra, for including me. I hope I spelled it right. I'm a novice at beat making myself, yet I'm definitely going to accept the next challenge. Yes, definitely make sure you do. Hello, Simona. Thank you for being here. I really like the good flip, especially for beginner. Exactly. Some of you are using what looks like peepo emojis in the chat, and I don't know how are you using those. Please let me know. It's this one that I'm highlighting right here. Do you guys have the extension? Who knows? And hello to Chris James, who just jumped in. Thank you for joining. Thank you to everybody who's just tuning in. This is our monthly sample challenge with 343 Labs. Next one will be August 9th. Today we are brought to you by Bitwig, who is going to give one lucky winner, our favorite of the day, a Bitwig license. So stay tuned for that. What's up, Ellie Winter over in the 343 chat? All right, we ready to listen to Uncle Acid's Midnight Heat?
Yes.
All right, I'm clicking play in 3, 2, 1, play. guessing what parts of the sample everybody chose to grab. I find that interesting, and this is a good part for this one too. Cool. Uncle Acid, a little bit of a different sound from you than usual, but thank you for that entry. Well done. Stella, what did you think of this track?
I'm a big fan of dance music, so I definitely like it whenever I hear a beat and I can up my head with it. So yeah, I just wonder how it would sound if you would maybe sidechain the sax sample to make it glue more with the beat.
Sure.
Now it seemed a little, how do you say it? Not really, still not as glued as I would like.
Just
to
a little
hear,
too in front.
Like, yeah, exactly, yeah.
For sure. And I do think there's like some quality to the reverb on some of these sounds that makes it sound like also like the sound was played through a speaker and then that was recorded, which I don't love. It makes it sound like the sound is like awkwardly far away from me or something like that. I don't know how to describe that, but it's that background chord instrument that almost sounds like an electric guitar. I would definitely choose something different there, because I think the trap that sound falls into is it sounds like it's trying to sound like an electric guitar, which almost makes it sound like a sort of like a cheaper version of like an electric guitar sound or something. So I might have chose something different, or just maybe a better electric guitar sample instrument or something. Maybe, I don't know, something about that sound threw it off to me. But overall, the groove, the arrangement, etc., I like the way you used different parts of the sax sample throughout, but that one main part you used, I think it was cool. And I think that is one cool part of this challenge, is everybody's picking little different parts of that sax melody to showcase, for sure. So it's cool. Well done, Uncle Acid. Thank you. Bringing us back to the dance floor. No more of this ambient chill hop. None of that. Wake up, people. It's Tuesday. All right. That was Midnight Heat by Uncle Acid. Let's keep going. The next one we have up is by Xenopus, Paradise. I really like the dynamics and length of Max's sample, how it gently fades in the end. It's long enough to span different sections of the arrangement. I tried chopping and processing, but it seemed to detract from the sax riff. Makes a great lead, so I added some other parts around parts and sound toys this time. I also like the fact that it is an MP3. Okay, interesting. A democratic choice for folks who have slow internet or CPU issues. Interesting. I never considered that. All right, we got Paradise. Let's give it a listen. In 3, 2, 1, play. Top line. right, Take Me to Paradise indeed. Well done, Xenopus. Another kind of dancey track, Stella. What did you think?
Yeah, I liked it. I like the structure. I like that there's vocals and the sax samples, kind of like the hook of the song, I would say.
Right.
I really like that. I would personally use a little less reverb and delay on the sax sample because it feels a little washed out, especially if you're trying to make it the center of attention, like the solo.
Yes,
the hook. I would use
agree.
a little.
That was going to be my note as well, because I think, especially a long reverb like that can tend to cause mix problems too. And it was pushing the sax back spatially. And perhaps even try to use, instead of having that reverb right on the sax, use it as a return track. So send the sax to a big reverb like that instead of completely washing it out. That we still get the brightness of the original, but we can still combine it with a big reverb. Something to think about, but really well put together song. I think you're right to say, like, not overusing the sax sample. A lot of people in chat were saying that.
It felt like a full track, because there's vocals, it felt like a track to me. Yeah.
Everything had its place. It wasn't just like, here's a sax sample challenge track, Sounds like a completed track. That made good use of the sample. Well done, Bill. Thank you so much for that submission. Great work. So much great work here today. We're going to keep things going. We got Lo-Fi/Chill Out next by our friend Rob No. Let me bring that up. Chill Out Sax. Had very fun creating it, says Rob No. So let's give this a play. In 3, 2, 1, play. Listen, it's something for you and something for me. I like the chill tracks, you like the dance tracks. I love the super poppy chord progression we got going on here. That 808 bass line is cool. Definitely good vibes. I didn't expect it to be over. Chill track Piccolo Black in chat brings up a good point. Says, I never thought about using an 808 and a sax in a chill track. And I think that's a great point about the beauty of these sample challenges. You hear everybody else's interpretations and people doing things you might not otherwise do. But another good example, grabbing a small slice of this sax solo and turning it into a great catchy melody. And it's just so poppy and good. Like, it is like summertime chill for sure. What did you think of this track, Stella?
Yeah, for sure. I agree. Very catchy, very poppy, very happy feeling, good vibes. Yeah, so I definitely like that. And also quite short, and it was like not like boring or anything.
Right.
It was just a lot happening and great timing. So
there's something beautiful about a nice 2-minute track that just does what it needs to do and doesn't overstay its welcome.
Yes.
I also want to shout out the percussion. The little top end percussion texture was really nice too. I like that a lot. Good job, Robno. Well done. My entry for this month. I don't know if that was your first entry for the sample challenge. Maybe you've entered before. I can't remember. Well done. That's a strong one. Good job. Okay, chat. How are we doing? I hope you're enjoying. Uncle Asta said, feeling the urge to dig my sax out of the case, but the neighbors would probably not appreciate it. That's funny. Yes. My friend Free Contella in chat, please don't spam the chat. I put you in timeout twice. Just relax a little bit. Enjoy the music. And before we get into this next track by Frank, or I should say Captain Iglo on SoundCloud, I would like to remind everybody, members included, that we will be having a track review stream actually this Saturday the 16th. So if you've got a track you've been working on and you want my feedback and the community's feedback on it, you can submit to that over on my Discord, which you get access to by becoming a member, hitting the join button down below, just like my friend Dopamine Fix Ben just did. Welcome to the community. And if you do become a member, just type !new member in chat, and that gives you directions about how to get into the Discord and all that. So welcome. Stella, what if people were going to go check out one thing by you right now, before this stream is over, of course, what would you tell them to go check out?
I would say Touch the Sky, my latest release.
Got it. Touch the Sky by Stella Key.
Yes.
Now, can I ask you a question that you don't have to answer, but Stella Key is your real official last name?
No, it's my artist name.
Got it.
Both Stella and Key, they're both my artist names.
Oh, so, both fake names.
Yeah. Yes.
Got it.
Fake, not fake. Like artist name.
Okay, both.
A lot of people call me
name.
Stella, like in the industry. And a lot of people I work with at school, everyone. My real name is Satara, so it's a little more difficult. So
Stella Key's a great artist name.
They both mean the same.
Oh, they both mean star?
Yeah, they both mean star. So yeah.
Oh, that makes total sense. So it's still connected to your real name.
Yes, yeah. So it still feels like my name, you know.
Nice. Very cool. Fun facts here in chat. Now you know.
Yeah.
All right. Let's give a listen to our next track here by Captain Iglo. We got a crazy file name here. First submission to this. So let's check it out. I think the track is called Less. I'm going to click play. 3, 2, 1, play. Okay, here we go. 4 to the floor.
Less than 3 minutes. 6. 6. 3 minutes. 6. 6. Less than 3 minutes. 6. 6. Less 6. Less 6. Less 6. is SubZero.
Okay, I'll kick it over to our dance music correspondent, Stella Key. Stella, what did you think of this track?
I really liked how the sample was being used, like being chopped and like building tension for the build up part to the little break.
Yeah.
I did have a bit of trouble with the vocals. I think you can definitely use other vocal samples or use more processing on the vocals, because at some point they were feeling a little bit annoying.
Yeah,
like
distracting.
But the combination of the beat and the sample, I think it worked really well, and like building up and then breaking down.
Right.
And how it was being chopped and repeated, like as you would use it in a build up, which was good, I think. Yeah. Sure.
I think eventually that filter could have opened up on the sax. It seemed mostly filtered the entire time. It would have been cool if maybe gradually as the track went on, that filter opened up on the sax. We were getting more and more, like as that tension was building and the filter was also coming up as well. That would have been cool. And maybe just a little more, like it is very good at building tension throughout the entire track. I would have maybe by 2 minutes 12 seconds, 2 minutes 10 seconds ish, which is where kind of that final, kick drop comes in. I would have wanted like a big, slightly bigger release. Like it doesn't have to be overly dramatic, but just something a little bit more, maybe the opening up the filter would do that. But it was good to have one of these, techno-y kind of tracks today that we can all bob our heads to for sure. Eric Clark says I can see
so many different genres. I really like it. It's like chill. There's like poppy full track with vocals. There's techno.
It's great.
It's really cool.
That's
really
the great part of the community. Eric Clark says I can see ravers with glow sticks with this one. Yes, why not? Like a late night, early morning, but it's still dark kind of club tune. Nicely done. Thank you, Captain Eglow. Oh, and I clicked off of our channel, so bear with me, chat. I hope you're enjoying today's sample challenge. As usual, we do these every single month, and the next sample challenge will be on August 9th. So please do not miss it, and do not hesitate to use the link in the description to jump in and get in the Discord, the 343 Labs Discord, so you can submit for next month's sample challenge. Totally free to enter. The new sample isn't up yet, but it's coming soon. So the sooner you get in, the sooner you'll be notified. And then if you want to become a member of my channel, or if you're already a channel member, we have a track review stream coming this Saturday. We do those once a month as well. So there's lots of opportunities to get feedback on your music. So the next one we have is by an artist named Aspirin, and the track is called Make Your Mind. Curious to see what we got here. All right, I am going to click play. Oh, it's going to be some house music. Great. All right, clicking play in 3, 2, 1, play. All right, here we go. Perfect spot for that melody. Wow, Aspirin, well done. That brought us some energy here as we're getting towards the end. Really, really well done. Stella, what did you think?
Nice. I really liked it. I liked the arrangement. I liked that you use a lot of elements. At some point, there's kind of two vocals going on at the same time. That's a little bit distracting. I think it's around like 34 seconds, something like that.
Yes.
And then there towards the end, the piano feels a little, how do I say it, static. Maybe you could add use some filters or like more processing to kind of blend it more instead of it being like in your face the whole time.
For sure.
And maybe to hear a little bit more of everything else going on, also more of the sax sample.
Right.
But very creative. I like the arrangement.
Definitely.
Yeah, definitely nice.
I think your note about like the vocal samples overlapping. Yeah, I was feeling like at points that there was a little too much going on occasionally. Like I think I caught it at around maybe 120ish or something, where you have the vocal sample competing with the sax. They're both kind of in that melody role. And yes, the sax is filtered in the back, but it kind of makes me feel like, oh, I wish I could hear that. That's in the back there. I've already heard that vocal sample. So maybe those could kind of trade places, or also don't be afraid to just take things fully out and let something else shine for a bit. I think for the most part, the sax is usually kind of pushed into the background. And I think there was an opportunity to bring it to the foreground at some point, especially towards the end. I think that can be really effective. If something's filtered like for 3/4 of the track, or like right up until that end, that big drop, if you open that filter at the end and finally we're hearing it in full force, like that's so satisfying for a listener.
Also, the break is also a good place to bring the sax more, because then you can like give it kind of the solo function instead of like, mixing it up with the vocals.
I totally agree.
Just let it do its thing.
Yeah. But mix-wise, like other than the stuff that you were talking about, I think mix is pretty good.
Yeah.
I think it can be really challenging, especially with a like a piano instrument. I think a lot of times people leave a little bit too much bass in the piano, but I think this bass line is really solid, and against the piano, they actually blended really well with the width on the piano. Cool. Aspirin, well done. Y'all are doing great. Katie Cat had a nice comment, said these have been some great pieces today. Great work, everyone. Yes, I agree. And what's up, Matt Renzetti? Thank you for joining us. If you are just tuning in, thank you for hanging out in this monthly sample challenge. We do this once per month, open it up to the 343 Labs community. We have a few more entries here to go, and we're going to keep powering through. I believe we have 3 or 4. Let's bring up this next one by Puri. Here we go. Shades of Bonobo and FKJ sounds like their influences. So let's give this one a listen. Even less ludicrous. Okay. Isola beats. Let's click play on this in 3, 2, 1, play. Completely different than anything we've heard today. All these sounds are a little like N64 kind of video gamey, kind of in a cool way, in a cool nostalgic way. First moment where I felt like I can feel the beat, really. interesting. I did like a lot of the sound selection for sure. And in the Discord post, Isola Beats talked about like having a previous version with too many samples and stuff.
There's
Varied
still a
arrangement,
lot.
ear
There's
candy.
so
Yeah,
much going on. So many sounds.
there's so many sounds, and I think that's
Yeah.
one thing I would just dial in a little bit, because all the sounds are cool, and yes, I agree that having a varied arrangement is cool, but I found it hard to grab onto. Even though I liked a lot of the sounds, to me it sounded more like a collage of a bunch of really cool things and less like an actual finished track, if that makes sense. And I
Yeah,
want
also the beat is constantly going. There's
Yes.
not really like a breakdown where it's like, so that's more of an arrangement thing.
Exactly. Yeah, that can help a lot because even though it is a varied arrangement where it's like, okay, new focus, new focus, new focus, maybe every 4 or 8 bars, it never eases off. So you're constantly like, there was another track today that was like, okay, constant wall of sound. If you find yourself in a constant wall of sound, your kick never goes away or your beat never goes away, that's probably a sign to be like, oh, where can I pull back a little bit? Because that gives you the opportunity to build back up to something. Definitely Isola Beats, a reference for you to check out if you're interested in this kind of music is Sean Wasabi, who makes like very like ear candy, or previously I haven't listened to him in a while, but very ear candy focused cool tracks that have a lot of things going on, but they all blend quite well and the patterns are good. So I think this is the start of something really cool. I think it's just got to get refined a little bit, but otherwise being creative like this with sound and all these different ideas and chops, you're on the right path. So definitely keep going with that. Well done. Dopamine Fix Ben says, just followed on SoundCloud to see where it keeps going. Yes, and all of you in chat, you should please go do that. If you hear an artist and you want to follow their journey, it costs nothing to go give them a follow and kind of track, because as we've seen with this community, everybody creates something different, and also everybody's on their own growth, music production growth journey. So that has been really cool for me to see as people submit week after week, month after month, and we hear their progression. We've seen a lot. Well done, Isola Beats. Thank you. TI-80 Mark is up next. Tried going in a bunch of different directions for this one, through a bunch of distortion, reverb, and other things on the sample. Chopped it up, changed the pitch, and made something new from it. And of course, we always get a little bit of a visual experience with TI-80 Mark. So let me bring that up here really quick. Robert Ruff says, like a journey into space. Yes. Manuel Gonzalez, thank you for joining us. Hello, nice to see you. And thank you to everybody who is just tuning in. Welcome, welcome, welcome. 77 Social, I see you here. Guybrush, hello, welcome. All right, let's listen to Sax Party by TI-80 Mark, giving it a play in 3, 2, 1, play. It's like a Kanye vocal processing almost. That's Max Wild. I didn't know he was starring in this video. All right, TI-80 Mark, thank you for that both visual and audio journey. Well done. I liked this time you're doing a little bit more of the syncing up the visual figures to the music, like they're playing the instruments and stuff. I thought that was cool. And I really appreciate also that maybe the first minute or first 50 seconds-ish is kind of devoted to this big grandiose introduction, and then the drums finally come in around 45-50 seconds. I appreciate taking the time to do like a big intro and then dropping the beat, and it was not a boring intro. I think I liked where it was going. What did you think of this track, Stella?
I like the kind of edgy dark vibe that is going on here.
Yes.
I really like it. I think maybe the beat could like hit harder to make it even more, like techno-y, dancey.
Like if you're gonna go hard, go hard. Like go full force.
Like a bit more gritty. Overall. Yeah.
Totally, I hear that for sure. And like just maybe just a bit more action or stuff. It sounds like it implies that it's gonna build up to a bit more action towards the end, but it stays kind of dark yet a little bit mellow, even though some of these sounds, I agree. When you said that all clicks for me. If some of those sounds are hitting real hard, like almost like industrial kind of sounds.
Yeah, exactly. That's what the vibe I get, but it's not quite
right. A little 9 Inch Nails or something like that. Yeah, awesome. Thank you, TI-80 Mark. You keep improving with both the visuals and the sound, so well done. We have 2 more entries to go here today, folks. Thank you for chilling with us and listening to the community music. Well done. Remember that if you want to submit, we do these once a month, and you can submit totally for free. Go to the 343 Labs Discord. And all my YouTube members, please don't forget to submit music to this Saturday's track review stream. Wow, interesting title here. Max is Saxy. Interesting. I wonder what that's supposed to mean. All right, anyway. Jazzy sax ambient breakbeat. Let's give this a listen. All right, pressing play in 3, 2, 1, play. Free Contella in chat. I have put you in timeout 3 times now. If I got to do it again, it's just gonna be a ban. Sorry. Don't spam. Bishop 91. The drums are cool, but the chords and the sax sound disconnected. So I think as this track plays out, what I'll say is the drums are the strongest part of this track. They're also the loudest part of the track. The saxophone is a little bit buried. The chords are a little bit buried. and the track kind of just stays the same throughout. We have a semi-interesting intro where things build up, but then after that, once the keys and the drums are all in, it's the same pretty much throughout the track. There's a couple little keyboard changes on top, a couple more incidental samples happening, like the breath sound, but not enough variation throughout to make it feel like a full song. So I think it's important that your parts have a relationship to each other. So the drums, that's simple. The drums are laying the framework of the rhythm and the feel of the song. But how are the chords then reacting to that rhythm? How is the sax reacting to that rhythm? And it is a sample, so you have to start with a pre-made thing. So we've seen a lot of people throughout today's stream, they chop the sample in a way that makes it fit their rhythmic idea, or makes it fit like the whole sonic world that they're building in their song. But even if you just take the sax and the chords together, the little 2-chord chord progression happening there, it never quite feels connected to the sax. It just feels like two separate things happening. So you want to be deliberate about what is your chord progression, how does that relate to your rhythm, and how does it relate to the melody on top. These are all things that work together. It's not enough to just say, oh, maybe these things are all in the same key and maybe I BPM sync them all, let's just throw them together. There has to be some purpose. To me, this track doesn't sound like it has much purpose. The starting point of the drums, I think, is a good one, but you could have been more creative with the sample on that front, and chopping, things like that. I don't know. What advice do you have, Stella?
I agree with everything you said. Also, the levels started really quietly, and yeah, the sax sample was also really quiet. So it was like not really glued together,
right,
level wise either. So yeah.
Some work to be done for sure, but keep working. Like we said at the beginning, everybody's in a different spot in their production journey. So if just putting 3 tracks together, keys, sax, and drums is all you're kind of able to do right now, that's fine. That's better than being at 0 and having made nothing. So thank you for submitting. Thank you for making something and taking on the challenge. Keep going though. Keep studying. Keep learning from the tracks that you like. Try to really be deliberate. Sit with a notebook and just like take notes on the things that you like about the music you're listening to, and just be really intentional about it. Stella, question for you. When you started making the kind of music that you make today, how did you like study from artists that you really liked when you decided like, oh, I want to make this kind of music? Like, what did you do to pay attention to the music you were listening to be like, oh, this is how I can make similar ideas?
Using reference tracks is my biggest answer to that. Just like listening to what I like, the artist I like, and choosing like 2-3 tracks that I really like and I want to make something like that. Just drag them into my project, study the structure, what sounds they use, and the more you do it, the more you hear. Because sometimes there's so much detail going on and you don't hear all the ear candy. That's what makes a production stand out in my genre. So that's like what I really listen for now. That's like really listen to the elements, the structure, really important, and the sound design as well. So that's what I really listen for. Yeah, use reference tracks for. Yeah.
Bringing it into like a project is smart too, because then you can lay out markers and like have it all. Yeah, you can basically create a template.
Yeah,
that's awesome. All right, we have one final entry, so we're going to listen to this final entry by Bio in the chat. And then we are going to put on some chill beats for you all to listen to. Me and Stella are going to go talk. We're going to decide on who we thought our favorite submission was of the day. Now, it is, of course, a difficult choice to make. So obviously, nobody should feel let down if they don't get chosen as the favorite submission of the day, because it's not an easy task with all the different genres, all the different skill levels, etc. And really, I think the most value you can get out of these challenges is probably not the prize, but it is probably just like the feedback and the community connection that you can get throughout. So just keep that in mind as we go into this final entry and start thinking about our deliberations. So this entry by Bio Goalies Sax. Let's give this a listen. It's hashtag Deep House. So we'll see about that. I'm pressing play in 3, 2, 1, play. was an awesome little roll at the end there. What the heck? That was dope. Now that I heard that, I wanted that to be in the whole thing. Wow. How about this one, Stella?
Cool track. I like it. There's so many synth lines going on at the same time at some point, around 2 minutes, I think. I don't know which one to listen to, but I like all of them. But I feel like maybe using EQ, reverb, and some panning could help separate them more.
For sure.
So that's, but I like the energy, definitely. Some clashing in the high end with the hi-hats and all the highs of the synths, and the sax is going on throughout the whole track. So more EQ, more using the space,
Mixing is for sure your next step, because the musical ideas here, I think, are great. The one thing I really loved about the mix is when some of those heavier bass sounds were coming in. But yeah, you're absolutely right to say there's so many synths and bright hi-hats that the brightness in the top end is getting a little, it's getting claustrophobic. Like there's so much happening up there. But cool use of the sample, I would say, for sure. Like, again, another great example of getting this sample in this track in a way that feels organic, in a way that doesn't just feel slapped in there, in a harder electronic sound, which I think is cool. We've had very chill, slower uses of the sample, and then we've had harder examples like this one with lots of energy using the sample. So well done. I think a lot of people in the chat liked that one as well. Katie Cat says, this one has me dancing at my desk. Yes, exactly. For sure. Awesome. Well, that was a great final entry of the day, but we do have now the hard task of deliberating and deciding which was our favorite of the day. So I don't know how we're going to decide that, but we're going to do that. We're going to put up a little Be Right Back chill beats screen for you all while me and Stella talk offline, and then we'll be back to discuss our favorite. Please don't forget that you can enter these sample challenges once a month by being a part of the 343 Labs Discord. The link is down in the description. If you also want another opportunity to get feedback on your music, I do it once a month on my channel. I'm doing it again this Saturday for channel members. You can hit join and become a member at any tier to get feedback on your track this Saturday. I see lots of cool members in the chat already, so make sure you all are submitting for this Saturday's stream. All right, Stella, it is now time. I'm actually going to run a poll before we go. I'm going to ask the audience which genres, which type of submissions did they enjoy? Like the more chill or the dancier tracks did you enjoy more, I should say. All right, there was the dancey type, and then there was the chill type. We'll ask that poll. We'll put up the Be Right Back screen, and then we're going to decide on our favorite of the day. So stay tuned. We will be right back. ladies, gentlemen, NBs, we have selected our favorite of the day. You're hearing it now. It is Make Your Mind by Aspirin. Give it up to Aspirin. Big round of applause there in the chat. This is a great track. We had probably more dance tracks than usual, I will say, this time around. And Stella, the crowd is voting with you. They were enjoying, 60% of the votes were enjoying the dancey tracks more than the chill tracks. I think everybody probably enjoyed all the submissions, but if you had to pick one, I suppose it is the dancey track. So that makes sense. We did end up choosing a dancey track. Aspirin, congrats. Aspirin, you are going to be taking home a Bitwig license. We're going to get in contact with you and make sure you get that hooked up. Please, if you can, go give a follow to Aspirin's SoundCloud page. Just Aspirin on SoundCloud. I think that's pretty easy. Go check that out. Congrats. I will say, once again, this was not an easy selection, not an easy process. Of course, we did have one kind of like, we were teetering between two, and we want to give a special shout out to Falguna, who also made a great track. We were stuck between, this one or Aspirin. We ultimately went with Aspirin, but it is so hard to decide. You have two completely different genres, but Falguna, just want to recognize, great effort, really, really good job. The sound is really great on yours as well. Now, somebody asked an important question here. Can you play something by Stella? I think I can. I can bring up Spotify right now and bring up a Stella Key original as we play out today, as we give our final details. And now that I know Stella Key is not your real name, I've been deceived this whole time. Oh, my Spotify's
Maybe you want to play one of my older tracks.
Older?
Survive. Yeah.
Okay, let me find it. Let me do this off screen so I'm not just like free scrolling, because Spotify is not working. Stella Key, Survive.
Yes.
Let's bring it up. We're going to play it for you all, chat. Don't worry. Oh, this is like has a whole animation situation. All right. Survive. Magic free release. Spinner, Sunny, Verb, Stella Key. That's what I'm looking at?
Yes.
All right. Perfect. We're playing it right here so you can all hear as we play out today. Stella, thank you for joining me once again.
Of course. I enjoyed it.
Can I drop her link for her Spotify in chat? I can, but my Spotify is not loading. I'm not sure if Spotify is down or what. I'll try to restart.
Should I put it in the chat and you can share that?
Yes, you can do that. And I'll grab it. All right, we're going to get Stella's link in the chat. Please, everybody, go give Stella a follow on Spotify as well as Instagram.
And Instagram,
yes.
That's where I share everything, like all my performances, like DJ gigs, my releases, everything.
Yes, pay attention. You're gigging mostly around New York right now, right?
Yeah, New York, yeah.
So if y'all are in New York, make sure you're following Stella so you can get in on one of those shows.
There's going to be a sick boat party on the 29th.
A boat party?
Yes, which I'm playing. So if you're in New York, the headliner is Dubs. I'm not sure if it's a big house, like bass house kind of thing.
Awesome.
It's going to be sick, so yeah.
I was going to make a joke about house music, but it's on a boat, not in a house, but I'll skip that for now. Anyway.
Great.
Yeah. Thank you all for joining us.
I think it's funny.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you all for joining us today. You can submit every single month to this sample challenge. We'll be back again on August 9th. Join the 343 Labs Discord. Totally free to join. That's how you're going to get notified when we drop the new sample for the new sample challenge. We'll have another prize next month. Thank you to Bitwig for sponsoring this one and hooking up our winner Aspirin with a Bitwig license. Much appreciated. This Saturday got track review stream happening for members, so you can hit the join button, become a member at any tier, and I'll review your music. That's how you become a part of my Discord server as well. So thank you all. It's been great. Stella, once again, thank you for joining.
Thank you so much for having me. It was really fun. Heard so many different stuff. I really liked it, from chill to dance to everything.
Yep.
Awesome.
And Studio.343 Labs, if you want to learn more about music production, we've got lots of awesome video classes and lots of live workshops, masterclasses, things like that. Studio.343labs.com. So check that out. We will see you all next time. Thank you all so much for watching. Go follow Stella. I just spammed her Spotify link in the chat once again. Go check her out. But that's going to be it. Thank you all so much for watching. This has been
Yes.
Tejo and Stella Key.
Bye.
Have a good one.